foxes stay out in the day enough, the coats fade to blonde. All right, so if this is a red fox, what is that little guy? Gray?
Silver.
Silver.
No.
Jasper, he's pulling the rest of his fur out. Jasper's almost done shedding. He's got a little bit going. You see some tufts coming out. She has just started. I don't know what she's waiting on, but she is our last animal to shed. So she's got almost, I'm going to say, 98% of her winter coat. He is halfway there. All right, so not silver, not gray, not black, not blue. Blue's a good answer, though. Okay, let me give you a hint. No? Look at our two little foxes and tell me if you see anything they have in common.
Good tail.
There you go. White tip on the tail means you are a red fox no matter what color your coat is. So red foxes come in many different color variations, but they are the only ones with the white tip. Only ones. Now remember the cross, it's part red, part gray. It'll look like her. It will not have a white tip on the end of the tail. Don't be rude. You're not being nice. Here, sweetie. There we go. So you see, fair play here. She'll get a treat no matter what. Okay, so the way this came about, and there is a reason he's not red. Red foxes were actually introduced into the United States from Europe. You know, fox hunt's very popular over there. They want to continue them here. So these little guys were brought to the States for that purpose. However, they are brilliant little animals, so they realized what was happening and they took off. They didn't hang around where they were being hunted, they disappeared. It took a while, but over the years, red foxes ended up in almost every state in the United States. They are so adaptable, they were doing so well anywhere they moved. But sometimes the color of the red coat was not blending in with their new terrain. So what happened? Nature stepped in and helped the little guys out. Wildlife biologists discovered down the road your little generations of baby red foxes were still being born with white tails on the end, or white tips on the end of the tail. However, the colors of the coats were different. And surprise, they were blending in with their new terrain. Where would you find this little guy? Way up north where the woods are dense and dark. Black coat. However, a lot of snow in the winter, silver to blend in with that. So as he progresses in shedding, soon you will see mostly black on him. But come fall, if we're going to have a lot of snow, you'll see that silver come out over the black. He's a silver phase red. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, I want to tell you why these little guys are so special. When I was growing up, I always said, when I'm old enough, I'm getting one as a pet. I will have a fox. Well, I do have two little foxes, but you can see where they are, up here, not home. Why? They are so destructive in the house. These little guys can do short sprints of 45 miles an hour, jump 6 to 7 feet high straight up in the air, literally run up a tree to get onto a branch for protection. So if you have a fox in your home, you really can't just let them run loose. They are so destructive. Now, another example of why they don't make good pets in the house, remember I told you bobcats spray everything? They don't smell too good. They spray everything and they smell like skunks. So think about that. You better like the smell of skunk. All right, but why do I like them so much? First of all, they are sweethearts. They can be very social. They're very friendly little guys, but they love to have fun. It's almost like, you know, I know life is stressful, life is hard, and for me, life could be short living in the wild, but what's the point in going through all that if you can't have a good time? Kind of balances the bad time. So because of that, more and more people are seeing little foxes in their backyards playing not only with their kids' toys, but their pets' toys. Wildlife biologists say, because of that, it is not uncommon in the spring when baby foxes are in their dens. That was so rude. Don't do that. Come here, Sierra. Where are you? CC. When baby foxes are in the den, it is not uncommon to find kids' toys and pets' toys all around the den. Mom and Dad know their kids like to play, just like you kids. And while they can't go into Toys R Us and buy their kids' toys, they'll come in your backyard, steal your toys, and take them home to their kids. So they are little thieves, but kind of in a nice way. All right, they will play with domestic house pets. These little guys will approach dogs and cats in people's backyards to play with them. However, keep in mind, cats can be playmates, but they could be dinner. So you never want to let the fox get too close to your cat. But dogs, they have been known to play with little Yorkie-sized dogs and big Great Dane-sized dogs, depending on how friendly your dog is. So if you ever see a little fox approach your dog in the backyard, or cat, crawling on his stomach, chattering like a little monkey, ears pinned back, but the tail on the ground, going back and forth like this, he wants to play. Now, one day after saying they play with dogs, I had a guy yell at me from your side of the fence. He says, you know what, lady? My dog, he is not playing with your little fox. My dog is so nasty, so aggressive, that if your fox thinks he's going to play with my dog, he's got another thing coming. My dog will catch him, kill him, and eat him for dinner, too. He is so nasty that even though our yard's fenced in, he's chained in the middle of the backyard. I said, well, it is such a shame that you're proud of your dog for this. However, I'm not really worried about my little fox. My little guy's already watched your dog. That's what they do. They observe before they make a move. He knows your dog's nasty, so he's not going to play with them, but he is going to mess with them. That's part of being a fox. And you know what? You've already helped my little guy out. They are known for watching a dog on a chain long enough to see one thing. How far that chain reaches, because now the little guy knows just how close he can get without getting caught. They will stay inches away from a dog's face, barking, shrieking, chattering at that dog, screaming in his face, hopping back and forth, getting the dog so agitated that when he is, the little fox starts running circles around the dog, and the dog follows. So agitated he doesn't realize what the fox is doing till it's too late. Wrapping him so tight to what he's chained to, he can't move. Now he's going to have a blast. There's even that video on YouTube where somebody caught two foxes in their backyard jumping up and down on the kids' trampoline, having the best time ever. So, they're a lot of fun. All right, but we do know life is hard in the wild, but we also know that saying, sly like a fox. There are so many examples of how smart these little guys are. I've narrowed it down to my two favorite tricks they use. One is actually flea removal. When foxes have fleas in the summer, they do not put up with them. They use a trick to get rid of them. The first thing these little guys do is find deep water. Then, once they found water, they find a big stick. They hold the stick in their mouth so it's evenly balanced on either side and wade out into the water, going deeper and deeper, driving the fleas higher and higher. Finally, only his little head is above water, and that's where the fleas are. The little guy will take his nose, point it to the sky, and start to dip the head underwater. That will drive the fleas higher and higher to the tip of the nose. There's no room on that nose, so when the fleas get there, they start to jump out onto the big stick. When this stick is full of fleas, he'll drop it in the water, back out, flea-free. Brilliant. All right, another trick they're known for. They will live in open fields and pastures. They do their best hunting there because rodents live in open fields and pastures. And if it happens to be on a horse farm or where there's cows, sheep, and goats, bonus. Those guys eat grain. That's going to attract more rodents. But these little guys are so brilliant, they have learned to put big farm animals to their use. So one day, my friend Diane, who has a horse farm, called me on the phone. You've got to answer this fast. My husband just ran to the house for his gun. Do foxes attack horses? I said, I have never heard of that. Maybe if he had rabies, never heard of that. I said, why are you asking? She said, well, right now we're watching Bella trot around the pasture with a fox riding on her back. I said, is he biting her? Nope, just riding. I said, oh my gosh, I know what he's doing. I said, Diane, I think I know what he's doing. I said, as long as he's not hurting her, put the gun down and watch. If you figure out what this fox is doing, call me back. Sure enough, 10 minutes later, she called me back. Well, we figured it out. It was amazing. She said, first of all, it was like we were at the circus watching an animal act. There's Bella trotting around, little fox on all fours, keeping his balance, just riding right with her. But then he got very excited. He sat up on his hindquarters on her back, tail on her back, swishing back and forth real fast. Then we thought he had fallen off her back, but then realized, nope, he had jumped off her back. Right into the tall grass, came up with a rat in his mouth. So these little guys are so smart. You are in an open field, you can see pretty far, but you're also very low to the ground. You can only see so far unless you get up here. They are actually known for hopping on the back of a big animal. Now that animal's moving around, covering territory. You're at a high vantage point. Bonus for this little fox. Bella took him right over where the rat was. Surprise attack come in from the air. Foxes are brilliant. Okay, fly like a fox. They also are confusing. They look like canines, act like felines, smell like skunks. They're canines, but you cannot crossbreed them with any other canine. Did you kids notice what I was giving them before? Grapes. Do you know you never ever want to give a dog grapes? Do you know that? They can poison your dogs, right? But he's a canine. How can he eat grapes? Well, they're a wild canine, and they actually eat wild grapes in the wild. So it does not affect them, but it will your dog. So never ever give your dogs grapes, but I give them grapes all the time. Okay, they eat pretty much anything. A fox's diet will consist of meat, vegetables, berries, nuts, fruit, anything these little guys will eat. All right, now the last thing about these little animals, they make so many strange sounds. So many sounds, there's even the video. What does the fox say, right? I think we've all seen that. I'll tell you what they really say. All right, they can mimic a human baby crying. It is a pitiful little sound. Our police department in town, one of the guys said to me, oh yeah, we've gotten that call before. There is a baby in the woods. You have got to get here quick. It's crying. It's getting dark. We can't find it. All right, they chatter like little monkeys. They also screech like an angry chimpanzee. Sierra can make a sound that sounds like a tropical bird singing. But then there's the sound these little guys make. You can imagine the police get calls about. They scream like women. It is a blood-curdling scream. You know, they say that sound can be heard as far as 2 miles away. So why would this little guy scream like a woman? I'll tell you 3 reasons I know of. First, let's say Jasper's being chased by something. Normally he would probably get away, but he's having a rough day. So he knows he's about to get caught. He will wait till the animal is about to catch him because the closer you are, the worse the scream. He will stop, wheel around, face the animal, and scream in its face. That sounds so horrible. Usually whatever's chasing him will turn and run the other way. All right, let's say he is hunting his favorite meal. Sierra, come here. It would be rabbits. The rabbit's getting away. The fox knows he's not going to catch that rabbit by chasing them, but he still knows he has a chance to catch them by screaming at them. Because when rabbits are terrified, they don't always run. They will freeze dead in their tracks and stop, hoping if they hold so still, nothing will see them and run right on by. So he's chasing the rabbit's getting away, he screams, the rabbit freezes. You can see how that works for the little fox, not the rabbit. One other example is screaming. This one you'll hear in the middle of winter. Sometimes it'll only last a night, sometimes it can last up to a week. You will hear a little fox screaming at the top of his lungs all night, off and on, off and on. But when you hear an answer scream, be very happy. The little guy has finally succeeded in attracting a mate. It's a mating call. 2 years ago, Jim and I were sleeping and woke up to the most horrible screams at the end of our driveway. Because we knew what it was and why he was doing it, we were very patient. We let the little guy scream, and for 3 nights, that's all he did. Finally, on the 4th night, there it was, another scream at the other end of the road. I was so excited. The two screamed back and forth, getting closer, till dead silence. It took about 3 mornings after that, but there they were, trotting down the road together. And you know, as smart as these little guys are, I think they've figured out that. You know, most animals travel through the woods day and night, searching for a mate. They become exhausted. That's their main quest, find a mate. Sometimes they don't even eat till they do. These little guys, it's almost as if their thought is, okay, if I scream loud enough, it can be heard 2 miles away. Hey, I'll just sit in one spot, scream at the top of my lungs for however long it takes. Someone will finally hear and come to me. So they don't exert too much energy. They save it. All right, the great little guys, trust me though, not good house pets, but any other time, awesome. All right, and we want to thank you guys for coming up today. This is how Jim and I are able to support our guys here, take care of them, run the facility, and try to educate people about them. So thank you guys so much for coming up. We so appreciate it. And I hope you guys enjoy your summer. Thank you very much.